how good the season is. But our sales goal this year is 18.5 million. We have roughly 40 full-time employees, plus crews. That does not include the crews.
Okay. Cool. All right, getting into the first. So the way that I have this kind of laid out is like problem, why us, results, and then impact. So before ScheduleBot, where was Brown Roofing losing most of its opportunities?
Really, I would say in the chase, right? The appointment center gets busy, or web inquiries would come in. And no matter what your speed to lead is, there's always a gap in time. It's helped us close that gap. So folks are getting to the website and converting more often.
Okay.
Not only that, but once we turn the phone bot on, now we are no longer playing that chase game for after hours calls, nor are we missing calls when everybody's already busy and on the phone. It rolls right over, and we're either getting that message emailed to us, whether it's a new customer or whether it's an old customer or somebody just looking for somebody within the building. We're all getting word right away, and the appropriate person can get back to immediately. So it's closed the gap on speed to lead. It's also closed. We're not missing as many calls after hours. I had an appointment booked at 1:34 this morning, and it was a phone call.
Wow.
So, I can't beat that. And it turns out the guy was a guy who works second or third shift or something. So the chances of us getting a hold of him during the day were slim to none. But we were able to book that appointment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Were you guys tracking? Did y'all have an online scheduler before ScheduleBot, or just a lead form?
We did not, just a lead form.
Okay. Do you happen to know like how many customers were submitting that lead form and how many actually became book jobs?
I would have to run the numbers. Let's just leave it at our conversion rate for the amount of visitors we get was not as high as we'd like it to be. And we are, through ScheduleBot, seeing that conversion rate increase.
Okay, great. So you would kind of say this is more of like this was kind of more of an operations problem. Like you guys were getting the leads, you were just slower to respond and or missing calls. Okay.
Yeah. Oftentimes, and you never know how something is going to ring on somebody's cell phone. It might come up Brown Roofing. It might just come up the number of, with your area code. Or I have calls from vendors all the time that come in as a spam risk. So this eliminates all of that because we're able to answer the phone no matter what. And we're giving a potential customer the opportunity to book online immediately. And we had some, I won't even call them issues, but just some kinks when we were getting up and running as far as making sure that you folks had the accurate calendars to look at. And it when we first started with you guys, we wanted appointments booked that day or the next day. Appointments went up quickly enough where I would say within 2 weeks, I was on the phone with Alexa and saying, you got to make the next available date a week out. So that's a good thing, right? I'm building my pipeline. I don't have the availability right away anymore. And this is in February. And I don't know if you knew what it was like here in Connecticut in February, but we had 16 inches of snow on the ground. So for us to start booking appointments like that in February was definitely a bit of a game changer for us.
Okay. Yeah, completely understood. We just had
I'll tell you what I'm finding. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm finding too, is for whatever reason, even on our web form, people gave a minimal amount of information. For whatever reason on ScheduleBot, they are filling in much more information than we've ever gotten. I don't know if it's a psychological thing. I don't know why, but it's certainly a difference in the inquiries that come in.
Okay. Okay. So you're getting more complete kind of customer intake information. So
100%.
less follow-ups. Okay. Awesome. We just had a crazy hail wind storm come through DFW. So we've got roofers running like madmen.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. So again, before you had like a lead conversion software like ScheduleBot, were you guys spending more money on ads to compensate from like the leads that you weren't getting?
No, we're actually spending more money now because we definitely throttle back the lead generation budget in the winter months. So the planned spend really has not varied. I'm spending more now for a couple of reasons. We're moving into the season. I have more sales reps now, so I got to keep them fed. Mm-hmm. So, in as long as we're booking appointments and closing deals, I'll spend more money. We're not the kind of company that likes to take their foot off the gas.
Right. Okay. Do you have any metrics into what your cost per book job used to be, or?
Hang on one second. I can. So let's see. So from February to March, my cost per appointment set went down roughly 30%.
Wow. That's big.
Yep. Hey, give me a say. I just did that math in my head. Let me give you the exact number.
I like 30%, unless it's more.
It won't be more, but let's see exactly what it is. I'm pretty good. So it would be 29.6%.
Okay. We'll put it at that 30. I'll put 29.6. Okay, great, awesome. So now let's move into kind of why ScheduleBot. Were you guys already evaluating a lead conversion software when we had contacted you, or?
I trying to remember now. I can't remember whether Jeff reached out to me or I reached out to Jeff. It was something that we had talked about within the organization, and it was really almost a fluke because I had the initial phone call with Jeff. I liked what he had to say, and I went to our owner and GM with it, and I said, you guys have to hear what he has to say. This could solve some of our issues. And believe it or not, they were both reluctant, saying not now. And I said, well, if we do decide to move forward, he's going to give us the first month for nothing. So please give me 15 minutes of your time and let's talk to this guy. And Jeff impressed them both, and we decided to move forward immediately. So I can't remember who contacted who. I get emails and solicitations all the time. And he was right place, right time.
Okay. Were you guys evaluating any other alternatives? You don't have to name them, but
no.
If so, no.
We weren't. Like I said, this was something that was backburnered, And for whatever reason, Jeff and I did hook up, and I liked what he had to say.
Okay. Was there anything you were skeptical about whenever you were first getting started?
I was skeptical about the phone bot, and how that would be able to answer questions from customers. And before we went live with it, most of the managers in the company went through it, tried to trick it, trip it up. And we were all satisfied with what they had to say.
Cool. Okay. And do you still hear some pretty okay things from customers or any,
Yeah. I mean,
complaints so far?
we haven't, I would say the feedback on it is that we really haven't gotten any feedback. So,
No new news, good news.
exactly. I mean, what I like about it is the phone bot itself is not trying to pretend to be something it's not. It says, I'm the virtual phone call answerer, or whatever it says, and it's very upfront, and it does a good job of answering folks' questions and booking appointments. That's
Yeah.
what I was most skeptical of. So
Okay. Yeah. As are, I think, most people,
Yep.
home service companies and their customers alike.
And
So,
we implemented the online booking first. One of the reasons we didn't go full bore right away is, we've been a family owned and operated company for 54 years. So it was important. It's important to us that whenever possible, a live human answers the phone. So that was part of our reluctance initially as well. And we got over that pretty quickly.
right. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, we see the people are the ultimate value. I mean, your company's made up of people, right? And so,
Yep.
we're just here to be there when people can't,
Yep.
so, okay, great. Getting into the kind of results section, how many more kind of book jobs are you getting per month from online leads? I know you guys were only using the contact form previously, but do you have pre and
Yeah.
post?
Let me see. Hang on one second. I guess the best way to do that would be to tell you how much our conversion rate increased.
Yep.
Trying to find it here on my report. So just on online leads in February, before we started, we booked 44%.
Okay.
In March, 64%. I can tell you that in April, I would expect that to be 70 to 75%.
Wow, that's a jump.
We will probably have by end of close today, we will probably have a record April.
Oh, today is last day of April, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So,
well, that's what we're here for. We're here for those record numbers.
Yeah, and we're excited. Like I said, and we hired a bunch of killer sales guys, and as long as I'm keeping them fed, we only expect the season to get better.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of on the voice a little bit, what was happening to those like overflow or after hours calls before you had ScheduleBot?
Well, folks would leave messages, and then it's a game of phone tag. And sometimes they pick up, sometimes they don't, sometimes they ghost you. Sometimes by the time you do get back to them, they've already picked the contractor, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing it helped with is just our communication as a whole, right? People are no longer just leaving a message saying, this is customer so-and-so, I have an issue, call me back. They're having a conversation with the phone bot, and we know what the issue is before we pick up the phone to call them back. And that's normally during the day, right? the after hours stuff, we were missing a lot of after hours leads because people will pick up the phone at 5:30, 6 o'clock, try to book an appointment, and we're not the only one they're calling.
Sure.
Right. So by the next morning, when we get that email that says so-and-so booked an appointment for next Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we're picking up the phone and saying, hey, Mr. Jones, it's Kevin from Brown Roofing. Thanks for booking your appointment Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Here's the sales rep that's going to be there to do your inspection and estimate. Right.
Yep.
So and for the most part, we can go into that conversation saying, we understand your roof is 20 years old. Here's what we're going to look for. So we're not leading with questions. We're leading with recapping whatever conversation they had.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we have employed, when I was marketing director before, we were using third-party answering service, and we found the voicemail didn't work so well, and even just having someone that's not working within the organization or even an AI agent pick up the phone and answer, it's just, you don't have the same level of
Yep.
care and concern sometimes we found. So really glad you guys are seeing, a benefit from that. Y'all are using the chat as well, right?
Yeah, we are using the chat. We don't get a whole heck of a lot of hits from the chat, but that's okay.
Yep. Kind of icing on the cake so far.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Little bit on just the impact here, getting towards the end. Could you give me just a brief summary of how it's impacted marketing, call center, dispatching?
Oh, just to kind of reiterate, it's increased our conversion rates. It has increased our communication, and quite frankly, above all that, it really has provided a better customer experience.
Okay.
So customers no longer have to be playing phone tag or getting back to us. And when we do get a hold of them to confirm their appointments, they know exactly what to expect and what we're talking about, whether it's been through the website or through a phone interaction.
Okay. If you were explaining ScheduleBot to another home service owner, what would you say?
I would say it's worth your time and investing into this product. I would say work closely with Alexa and her team because they will rig it exactly the way you want it. Very easy to work with, speedy response.